Good day everyone. Today we are going to see the Manětín Chateau, which is located in the smaller West Bohemian town of Manětín north of Pilsen. You can take train or bus from Prague to Pilsen, and then bus from Pilsen, which is stopped in Manětín Square in front of the Manětín Chateau, which is close to the famous Plaza Monastery. So you may have a nice day trip from Prague. Visit Manětín Chateau is an easy trip for the whole family. The castle is picturesque, with a nice French garden, and we will also go to the castle for a tour. Manětín Square in front of the Manětín Chateau was completely rebuilt after the Great Fire of 1712, and generous terraces, so-called escarpments, were built on the sloping terrain, were fitted with a stone sculpture by the sculptor Stepan Borovec and his student Josef Herscher. We can still admire their works here today, figures of saints, stone vases, fountains, or allegories of riches. As for the history of the Manětín Chateau, in the 12th century, the knightly order of the Johannites chose this place as their base to build their headquarters, the so-called commandery. It operated here until the 15th century, when it was abolished and dismantled, and at the end of the 16th century, in approximately the same place, a Renaissance castle, the residence of Jaromír Hrabčínský from Hrabčice, was built here, along with a brewery and a swimming pool. Unlike the previous owner, the Hrabčík family, who acquired the Manětín estate from the Schwambergs in 1560, also reside in Manětín. The city then became the center of the independent estate. Behind Jaromír Junior Hrabčínského Hrabčice, shortly before 1600, the fortress was expanded and rebuilt into a castle. Even then, the manor occupied a large part of the floor plan area of today's castle grounds, including the park. The representative nature of this rebuilding is evidenced by fragments of the Renaissance painted decoration of the facade, which were uncovered during the reconstruction in May 1997 on the north wall of the castle closer to the church of St. John the Baptist. Due to debts, the Hrabčík estate was sold to Christoph Karl from Ropou. However, the massive Bibelhorské confiscations of 1620 also affected this family, which was stripped of all property, including Manětín. The confiscation was thus sold 2 years later to Mrs. Estra Mistrovská from Mitrovic. She died as a childless widow in 1638, and her brother, Khan Ferdinand Rudolf Lažanský, became heir to the Manětín estate, whose descendants continued to own Manětín for more than 300 years, until the end of World War II. The current appearance of the chateau is the result of a complete Baroque reconstruction that took place after the Great Fire of 1712, when the entire city centre was devastated, including a large part of the Renaissance palace. During this period, Khan Václav Josef Lažanský lived here with his young wife, Maria Gabriela Lažanská Černinová. Immediately after the fire, the couple started the restoration work of the city, but the Khan died already 3 years after the accident, and so all the burden of responsibility remained on the then 20-year-old Maria Gabriel, under whose reign Manětín went through the period of greatest prosperity. according to the latest construction, historical surveys, the architect to whom Manětín owes the Baroque form of the chateau, the church and the urban concept of the square was Tomáš Hafenecker, a recognized expert. Later an imperial builder, he drew up the project of the Manětín castle in the year 1712 to 1715, and so a supervising architect led the reconstruction almost to the end until 1730, when he died. His countryman, Jan Jiří Hess, a polisher from Rud in Tyrol, who came to Manětín with a group of Masons at the beginning of the second decade of the 18th century, was in charge of the implementation work. The chateau was significantly expanded compared to the previous state. The elongated facade has 33 window axes and is divided by 3 entrance portals. Excellent artists took part in the restoration of the town and the chateau. Peter Brandl should be mentioned in particular with his pictorial decoration of the Church of John the Baptist on the square. On the west side, the chateau is connected by a covered passage with the oratory of the Church of St. John the Baptist. And now we will marvel at the French garden, which was also after the fire in 1712 renovated, and the characteristic garden composition of the high Baroque was applied here, with a distinct central axis from the entrance arch in the southern facade of the castle building to the center of the brewery, emphasized by the Baroque portal. The two transverse axes were formed on the one hand by the gate to the garden from the carriage house and the swimming pool in the flower garden, and on the other hand by the carriage house and the orangery, probably built in 1734. Nowadays the chateau complex consists of the main chateau building, to which the French garden with the English park adjoins on the south side, and at the southernmost tip are the building of the former brewery and granary. On the west side, the area is closely adjacent to the castle farmyard. At the beginning of the 19th century, a park was created in the English natural landscape style in the area south of the Manětín brook. A self-propelled pond, hermitage and a gazebo on an artificial hill were set up here. The ornamental garden with Baroque elements at the chateau remain a separate entity. Trust you like the chateau tour and you will visit Manětín Chateau, which has a pleasant chateau-y atmosphere, and the restaurant cooks well here, and the cake was homemade and delicious. When you enjoy the walk through the Manětín Chateau, would be appreciated a like, a comment, and if you are not yet subscribing to this travel channel, I would appreciate a follow, and I will talk to you later.